Mr. Ian Rice, thank you very much. Thank you twice for coming here 2 times for the Nationals.
Oh, look, after the first one, it was an easy decision to come a second time. The event is just mind-blowing, Marco. It's awesome. And the people you meet here.
Yeah.
The guys you network with.
The networking, right?
Yeah.
We can concentrate a lot of people that love the same thing all together.
Yeah.
And still they find a way to fight. Still have arguments. Still have egos and jealousy around.
In a friendly way, hopefully. Yes.
Oh yeah. Sometimes sometimes not. Sometimes you just feel like it's not, and then they have to interfere somehow.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It's exactly like you say. You've got 75 guys down there, and we've all got the same kind of mindset. We all want to do well. We all love slot cars, and because we've got that common ground, it removes a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And then from there you just forge friendships.
Yeah.
It's great. It's really great. Yeah.
The event is just like it's getting bigger and bigger. I think we're lucky to develop this way, and it's a little frustrating for me and Carlos, especially because we have so many other ideas that we couldn't have the time or the manpower to put it. On the track itself, on the event, on the broadcasting. We have at least 10 ideas that nobody ever saw around a slot car track.
Okay.
And we couldn't do it.
You're going to share those now? Or?
Yeah, there's something. No. There's stuff like we prepared like a very nice opening video.
Oh yeah.
Carlos has some nice drone shots of the track. That was one thing. I think the podium should be a little bit more flashy. Mm-hmm. We have like smoke bombs here, red, white, and blue that we never used 2 years in a row, right? Yeah. I remember 2 years ago we tried to do a drone shot, like a flyby. Have all the cars on the grid, they have a drone just zoom with smoke coming up.
Yep.
The issue with that is that the FAA building is right here on the side. So every time that you go outside with a drone, the drone just comes down by GPS. So that's one thing. On the track itself, but for 2 years now, we've been working on a sectors time.
Yes,
for qualifying, so we know which sector of the track will be faster, just like Formula One. We couldn't have this figured out yet. Bunch of little things. Like for you have an idea, this year we couldn't even have the time to put the flags up representing Chicago. Remember that we had it last year?
Yes, I remember.
We have everything done, and then when we started doing, we missed some plastic straps, and then have to go the next morning to get it, and then we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But little things, but we're still doing things. We did things this year a little bit differently. I think people appreciate it, like the time for practicing.
Yeah, I think that was there were some good parts to that, and there were some parts that didn't really work too well.
Okay.
So the good part was that we weren't queuing for like 40 minutes or 50 minutes to get onto the track, because last year, the queue was like back to the sales counter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that was something that was a real improvement. Yeah. And then on the other side, because you only had fixed windows, you might get one or two passes through. Yeah. So there were a couple of days when I only got one pass through.
And didn't have the next one.
Go back to good. Yeah. But look, you either go one way or you go the other.
We're gonna upgrade that. The way I'm gonna do is like I divided the field in 6 groups of 12 people, and 3 of 12 and 3 of 13 out of the 75. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do next year, I'm gonna divide in 12 groups of 6. So we're gonna have not 1 hour, we're gonna have like 40 minutes. But you're always gonna have a track open for you. If you wanted to do something on the car and come back, they're always going to have a track for you. Yeah. So another thing that I was not anticipating was the open track between 8 and 11 or 7:30 and 10, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that so many people would come. But everybody was here.
Yes.
Like at least half of the fields.
Yeah.
So that was kind of we're going to use that time to create more groups and have... Yeah, that's going to be better.
But it worked great. It really did. Yeah,
I don't think nobody was missing track time or complaining that they couldn't reach the track. If they do, they were not here on Friday or Saturday, which is then it's unfortunate. But you have your time open there. Yeah. Another thing that was very cool, like we have your names. Now you have your name on the tags.
On the passes, awesome.
Yeah, which is which is good for knowing the name of people.
Yeah.
And in the back you have the schedule, right? So. Yeah. every time that I'm around, people are, where's qualify? Just grab out of their neck and say, right here, it's right here. So stop me asking me. That's a good thing. I have my schedule all around the track.
Yeah. You could probably get away with the paper. Do away with the paper one now.
Yeah.
Probably don't need it as much.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's a little thing, a little detail that adds to. It keeps as a souvenir with the name in there and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, little things. We were doing this interview on Tuesday morning, so people know. So we still kind of hangover of it. Like I got 3 emails of employees saying that they're not coming. One calls sick, another one say, "Look, this the weekend I'm not be there." So to make clear that I'm not gonna. We work a lot. Especially this guy and myself.
It's very evident. You know, the quality of the event. It's very evident how much work you guys have put into this. It's major. You can see it. Yeah. It doesn't happen by accident. You know?
Yeah, and it's long planning. Mauricio is a big part of it. I remember when we were not even his distributor. I knew him before I worked here. I was in Italy for some reason, and I emailed him asking if I can meet him and see the office before I have any professional involvement with Slotcars.
Yeah,
and he received me there for like 2 hours, gave me a gift. We have a picture together.
Yeah.
And then after that, when I started working here, things started a little bit more easier because I already knew the guy, or I'm very familiar with the company. And I remember calling him one day. Look, I have this idea. Let's do the Nationals. Let's do August summer break. I think it would be beautiful in California. And let's start to do it. And then we did the first one. I think the first one we have around 50 people. And then the second one I limited to 75 because I think it's the limit for us here.
Yeah.
And we always have a little bit more people getting enrolled. Like this year we had 80. A couple of dropouts, last minute dropouts, or people who couldn't come.
Yeah.
By the way, as we speak, Mr. Bob Scott, I'm not religious, but my thoughts are with you. I hope you have a good recovery. He's going under pacemaker surgery as we speak.
Okay.
So I hope you come back here, and I have you as a pain on our asses for more 10, 15 years here around the track, all right, man? So good luck. But I want to know more about you.
Sure.
Your history. We can get this in kind of the last part. Right now, I would like to understand the Australian scene, because I know that slot cars are pretty popular there. I know that Scalextrics makes a lot of movement doing the Australian race cars, and I know that you guys have the Australian Nationals right now with Slot.it.
Yes.
And my idea, we have Juan Ajero here, who is the distributor for Slot.it, Slot Shop Mexico, and he plans to do the Slot.it Nationals there.
Okay.
So my idea, and I know that you are part of the rule book over there, part of the technical stuff, is try to unify everything. So we can have people coming from here, coming from Australia, going here to Australia and Mexico. Maybe Brazil is going to get involved. So I would like to know when you guys started, how do you guys race, what kind of track do you guys race, and how was the last or the first Australian Slot.it Nationals?
Okay. Well, the first, the first Australian Nationals that I entered was actually last year, and it was at Slot Shop, which is the number one location in Sydney, Metro Sydney for slot car racing, and it's a wood track, and it's a fairly simple layout, and we looked at the event that you put on last year, and we used a lot of those ideas. I say most of the work was done by Eddie, the owner.
Eddie Palminha.
Yes, and his wife, Maria. They worked very hard to get the event up and running. There was a slight difference. They ran 2 classes. So Group C on the Saturday and LMP on the Sunday. So it was 2 classes. And we also ran to a different set of technical regulations as well. But in most other respects, the event was very similar. I think we had a slightly different heat structure so that all racers had more than one race. So you didn't just run the one heat and then hope you made the semis. It was you ran 2 or 3 heats, even if you didn't make the semis. So it was a very busy weekend, and there's been conversations about bringing that back down to 1 class so that it's a little bit more simple and less frantic. Because we were pretty tired by the time.
How many lanes in the track?
That was an 8-lane track.
8-lane track, and you used all the 8 lanes?
Yes, we did. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Interestingly, Slot Shop are in the process of moving. In fact, they're hoping to go live in their new premises fairly soon, this week or something like that. So that track is now gone. We won't be using that track again. It's gone to a different home now. It wasn't a particularly loved track. It was a simple layout, very high speed track. And unfortunately, what that means is, high speed track, high speed accidents. And so there's a lot of damage done to the cars when they come off. And in the Nationals event, as you know, you get a range of abilities.
Yeah.
You have the expert guys and you have the enthusiast guys. Yes. Yeah. So unfortunately, there were some big smashes. So that track's gone. So the move to the new premises will mean a new track, and that's being built right now.
And it's a track for 124 scale too, or only 132nd? Because our track, the difference is that the lane distance between the lanes is smaller than the 124 track, which brings a little bit more of the action.
Yeah, and it's the same with us. Exactly the same. It'll be a 132nd track.
Oh, nice.
But there are plans to build another track. Now, Slot Shop is primarily a 132nd outlet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't think Eddie has finalised the designs for the second track yet. So it may be a possibility of 124ths. I think with the old track there were 124ths running, and the issue you have there is that the guys like to use goop and glue, don't they?
Yes.
And that is not really compatible with the 132nd.
No, even if you clean the track.
So
Montal Raceway here in Modesto, they have this problem.
Yeah.
They, as much as they clean, we still have an extra bite to the tire, and it's not a natural movement of sliding and coming around. It's a great track. We raced there. Carlos raced there too. It's a month ago, and
I
watched a lot. Yeah, you watched it. You watched the
I did.
Ridiculous performance. Trying to get the car together in 2 hours and participate. I almost made the finals. I came in 7th.
Yeah. I know that feeling. Yeah,
I know. By the way, your result 2 years in a row 13th.
I know, and you clearly haven't watched my podcast yet, because I put a podcast out on Sunday night.
Okay.
And I said in the podcast, I'm probably going to attract the hashtag, Mr. 13.
Mr. 13. Because I remember coming out saying that you were in 17th or something, but no, you finished 13th because 13. You were the third place on the bump heat. So 12 plus 1.
Yeah. So I've already been hit up by J.R. Ewing. He's already messaged me and said, "Hey, Mr. 13."
Mr. 13. How can we find your podcast? What's the name of the channel?
The channel name is Braid Runner.
Blade Runner.
No, Braid Runner.
Braid Runner.
Exactly.
Okay.
but you're right. I got it.
Not Wesley Snipes.
No,
okay.
I got it from the film.
Okay.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
One of my
Blade Runner is Harrison Ford. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's one of my all-time favorite films. It's always on my top 10 list. Always.
Really?
So I just
have you been to the locations here in LA? The film locations in LA?
No, I haven't.
That's something you need to do now.
Yeah.
What's the name of the building? Birdbury building.
Yeah, it's a stunning building, isn't it? Yeah.
See, it's free entrance. You just walk there.
Really?
In the middle of the set. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we have some hours today, man.
Okay.
That's a trip.
That's a tip.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that's your favorite movie.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
What about the remakes? Did you like it?
The one with Ryan Gosling.
Is it Ryan Gosling?
Yeah. I thought it was a really good sequel.
Okay.
Did it stand up on its own? Not so much, but as a sequel, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. I quite liked it.
Yeah. I remember Blade Runner.
Yeah.
So Braid Runner.
Braid Runner, because we run on Braid.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We're planning to, and that's first time that I say that, we're planning to make a slot car brand for little parts and pieces and tools that we think it's necessary to the market.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be called Groove Rippers.
Right.
Yeah, so we're working on a logo right now.
Good.
Yeah, Groove Rippers. So
I look forward to that.
Braid Runner. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. It doesn't have any sort of video production quality to it. It's a man with a camera. That's
good enough. That's good enough for today.
I wanted to get the emotion across. I wanted to get the experience across. So
sure.
So there's about 10 videos on there now, all short. And I've covered my first subject matter is the Nationals. So you guys, you get a lot of coverage in there, because I wanted people who don't get the chance to go. I wanted to give them the chance to see what it was like from a racer's perspective. Coming to this cathedral, that you've got here. Yeah,
it's kind of a little exaggerated. I think we have a bunch of people who come straight from the airport, like they're here in LA for another reason, and the first stop is right here. I see people with luggage coming here all the time.
Yeah.
And another thing that we have very interesting is that when a guy who used to do this in the 70s or 60s. He walks in, he stops at the door, looking around, and starts to yell at the door, I used to do that in the 60s. I have a track close to my home. Like, it's not only one or two things, like over 10 times that happened. Like, if you see somebody, I used to do this, I know.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a weird... the place now with the new renovation, the new track, which is the first time you're seeing this, it's kind of designed for having this impact. If you walk to the door, you see the big Slotcars sign that we inherited from Buena Park.
Yeah.
So it's kind of topped to the door. So if it's the first thing you see, the Slotcar sign. Plus the cars on the wall and the Can-Am front right there.
And the dragster, the top fuel.
Dragster, yeah.
I have to say congratulations on the renovation, because
it's beautiful, right?
Yeah,
we're very proud of
it. Makes
that.
A big difference.
Like at least 2 months work on this.
I can imagine.
Doing crazy things that I hope the city doesn't know.
Yeah, no, it looks great. It really does, and it's
and one of the big things is the mezzanine here. Now that we have the office, that door that we have, and the new bathroom up front. So we don't have people coming all the way to the back.
Yeah.
And then we have much more space to organize ourselves and count inventory and doing stock, because sometimes we have new parts or new scale auto shipment with 20 boxes, and we have to open all to organize, and then somebody cross into the bathroom, oh, I want one of those, and they just literally pick it up and go to pay. There is not even a system. They don't even know the price. And
you haven't checked it into stock yet,
whole problem. And as you know, we are the distributors for scale auto, and SR is Slot.it, so the quantity of those kinds, and you can say Avant Slot, MR Slot car, whatever it is, the quantity that comes here is probably it is the only place, the first place that comes in America to those brands. So the quantity that we have is not only for us, it's also for the other resellers. So
I hadn't thought of it that way. I mean, I'm talking about the customer experience. You know, the front of shop is awesome. But now you said that, I see exactly what you say. You know, it gives you space and separation from the shop space. That's another benefit.
Last year when we were here, I have my office in the middle. There's a little box, but there was no wall. There's no separation with the stock.
And I've seen Dennis Sampson's little cubby hole that you've
given
him.
Yeah. So Dennis, the funny thing about that the thing was, I had in my mind a place to put him off, and I didn't know how this mezzanine will be placed. Well, I know how it will be, but I didn't know how noisy it would be, so I didn't want to put him under the stairs. So when I finally feel, okay, that's going to be the place, so we need to drywall everything and kind of make some sort of acoustic, so people don't walk on top of him and he doesn't get bothered by this. Yeah. And he kept insisting for 2 months, I can come to help. Do you need me there? I can pick up some stuff. And I just reply email, don't come here. Only on the stay out. And he just got mad with me. So Marco doesn't want me there. And it was just to make his surprise. So he made the sign using the colors that he raised. There's the pink, the blue, and the silver there. And then he came, he was very happy to see it. But it was kind of a battle, because Christian wanted him here because there was a lot of customer stuff to do. Said, don't bring Dennis here. I will take this stuff for you. Just because I wanted the surprise. But we Carlos and I suffered.
I can imagine.
Because there's another thing that people don't know. There's another building. We have a second building where things we use for storage. And when we got that building, we have to fix it up. Install racks, lights, doors. And during the month of December, we have the last race on the 21st, which was the Christmas Enduro. And after that, we closed the store. And we reopened on the second weekend of February. And even before we closed this store, me and him and Mark and a group of other guys who work for us on that, we were preparing that building to transfer stuff from here to there. So Scott gave us a truck from the main company. 495,000 miles on that thing. And I drove that thing for 15 days. Like a 30 foot long truck. And going to Van Nuys and coming back. And it was so tiring because the truck was just horrible to drive. And I remember one day coming here and I said, you know what? I'm not going to exit the freeway. I'm just going to go with this at my home. So I just went home with the truck. And that was our daily driver and every morning come here, put a lot of pallets and I don't know if you remember, but Scott stored a lot of car parts here, racing car parts here. We have a full Corvette chassis here and body. We had like a lot of molds from his Can-Am cars, real life molds. We had a Porsche GT3 engine that he didn't remember that he had.
I thought you were going to say it's found its way into your Volkswagen Golf. Yeah.
No. That I bought myself. No. But yeah, we move a lot of heavy stuff. I have a frame of me removing the whole Corvette via forklift from all the back to the building to the front.
Yeah.
And I remember that the track was still open. So I have guys like Al Castillon, Ternida, Tonarita, Jim Monda just looking around. There's this big Corvette kind of on the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough for us.
So the other location, that's just like remote storage,
Just
is it?
storage, yeah.
Yeah.
The initial idea when we got the both Bonaparte tracks was to have a secondary location and install there both tracks. And that would be like a 24-hour raceway with you get in with the badge. And like a turnstile, like a gym.
Yeah.
Turnstile, we will have like a vending machine with basic stuff like tires, braids, and whatever it is. All cameras, and then you go there and race. And then you get out, and that's it. You pay for the day.
Yeah.
And then when we have races, we go there and interfere. That was the idea. But one day we need to go there around 2 p.m. and what's supposed to be like a 35-minute drive became a 1 hour and a half. And then say there's no way it's going to be true. If there's an emergency or if we need to go there for some reason, it's going to...
Yeah.
And then I start to look for this mezzanine. And the mezzanine was... first quote that I got was like $60,000 just for the metal part. And I was almost giving up because without the mezzanine, I didn't have this space. And I didn't have the space to put stuff underneath it, and no space for the track. Yeah. And I see the King track could wait because we do have another King track available at Pirelli Raceway, much more modern. But this one people like a lot, and that's kind of the home of the hard body racing here.
Yeah.
So I need to figure out. So okay, let's put one track, mezzanine. We figure out the stock. And then first quote I got was like $60,000. That's not gonna even show to Scott that. And then I was browsing every now and then. I go there and try to find used mezzanine. There's brokers of used stuff like industrial stuff.
Yeah.
Then I found this one in North California, 30 by 20, exactly the space I needed. I say okay because we have 30 and 20 is between the columns.
Right. Yeah.
Of the building.
Yeah.
I reached out to the guy. He wanted 12. I came down to 9, so I called Scott and say, well, 9 is a great deal. It's used, but we can paint it, we can do whatever.
Yeah.
But I need a truck. And a big truck, the ones that I don't have the driver's license to drive. And can you pick it up and say, which city is that? And say, Hayward or something like that. I say, yeah, we have a branch there. And his truck was literally 3 blocks away from the pick up the mezzanine. So those guys, they pick it up for me. They store it for almost 9 months because this is planned way ahead.
Yeah.
And then one day, like 1 week before, I call, look, I need this guy here at December 27th. I remember the date. And December 27th, before we opened, the mezzanine was up front. The company that came to install was there. We passed install same day. Poof. Up.
Brilliant.
And if you go to the ladder, to the stairs over there, if it was 1 inch bigger, and I kid you not, if it was 1 inch bigger, it wouldn't fit.
Right.
It's just made for this. It's unbelievable. The luck was unbelievable. And then when I got this secure, then we start to plan the renovation. Then I say, okay, let's schedule what time we're going to polish the floor. We're going to put the mezzanine together. We have a crew. At some point, we have 80 people working here. There's a crew building this. There's somebody building the restroom upstairs. There's a guy outside working. And there's the crew doing the flooring here.
Well, it's made a big difference.
Yeah. Bob Scott came along to put this track together.
Yeah.
This track was in storage too for almost a year.
And it's a lovely track.
It's beautiful.
It is lovely.
It's beautiful. If you see on the side, there's the history of it.
Yes.
It's the 5th location, right? It's from '89. This track.
Yeah. Well, back in May, when I was here in May, I ran a few laps. Walter Baines loaned me a car, a Flexi with a brushless motor. I've never run a brushless motor before, and I just ran some laps, and you very quickly get into a kind of rhythm. Yeah. It's a rhythm track. Yeah. It's lovely. You know when you've done a good lap. Yeah.
My favorite class is hard body racing, where you can build your own chassis.
Yes.
And to be honest, it's kind of a passion project because I wanted this track here because that crew, that people, they love this track, and I know how enjoyable it is to race that class here.
I love the hard body racing. Yeah. In the Australian scene, we don't do it so much now, but we used to run the one, I think they're like 1/27th scale Plafit chassis from Japan, and they're quite simple to mount a hard body on. So you can take a Kyosho Mini Z body and put it on top, and the cars look great because the Kyosho bodies are good anyway.
How do you install the bodies? Is it just magnets, or you have some sort of paint tubes? Or?
No, we use foam. So there's some uprights on the chassis, and you just put some foam on the side, and they go on like the inside of the door of the car. So yeah, it's a fairly simple installation. Yeah,
and the Mini Z bodies are plenty available, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, all the popular ones go quickly, and they become very pricey, in a short space of time. But the good thing about the Plafit chassis is, it's modular, and you can swap components in and out. They have a range of motors of their own. You don't need to use a third-party motor. You use their own motors, and they're like I think they're based on 16D kind of armature, that sort of thing. And yeah, they're a really good car, and you get some really quick lap times out of them with sponge tires and a Kyosho body.
Are you located close to Sydney?
Yes. So Slot Shop currently is about I would guess 5 miles south of the CBD, but the new location is going to be.
I don't know what a CBD.
Oh, sorry, Central Business District, so downtown, if you like. Yeah, and then the new location is going to be about 10 miles to the west of the CBD. So it's a completely different location. It's a bigger shop, slightly better layout. So yeah, we're hoping there's going to be an upgrade. Yeah, in all respects.
Yeah. And how many people have on the Nationals last year?
I think it was limited to 40 last year. Yeah, not everybody raced both categories. It was pretty grueling. It really was. And I trued all of the tires, the handout tires.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's my worst nightmare.
Yeah, so Eddie did all the motors. He just did a quick bench test of all the motors, make sure that there were no bad ones in there, he just gave me a bag, like a carrier bag full of wheel rims, and another carrier bag full of sponge tires.
Oh my God!
And I did about 100 sets.
Oh, you guys run sponge tires then?
Yes,
because of the glue on the track.
Yeah, so we had some rules about
what kind of sponge tires do you run?
It's just a standard Slot.it SP23. I think it's a part number. So yeah, the harder of the two. I think Maurizio's introduced a softer sponge, but it's way too soft for what we were doing. Yes. So we used let's call it the hard sponge on the standard rims, pure standard rims. So the Slot.its were slightly smaller rims, and the tires were not glued because the sponge is held in place by a lip on the rim. Outside. Exactly. And so we didn't glue the Group C's because with the S-Can motor you don't really need to. 23K motor, just like with the Nationals here. And with the LMPs, we glued them because we were using a boxer motor, and you get a bit more torque, a bit more punch with those, and so we didn't want those coming off. And touch wood, we didn't have one failure throughout the whole weekend, so that was good. The motors were good, the wheels and tires were good. Yeah.
So you're not gonna have the Nationals this year because of lack of track?
Well, we're talking about it. Eddie and Maria, they are keen to do it, but there are some realities about logistics, about setting up a new store, as better than most. So it's their intention to do so. I've been away for a week now. He may have developed his thinking a little bit more by now. I don't know. I've not been talking to him while I've been here. I've been busy, obviously. He's been busy. So, yeah, it's possible when I get back, the conversation might be, so we're running the Nationals, maybe a cut-down version from last year.
Okay.
If we do, I suspect it will be Group C based. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, some synergy with what you guys are doing already.
Well, I would like to be more close, actually, and bring Mauricio over to participate more of those. Things like what we do here by experience is very useful, like the seal over the motors. Mm-hmm. This is something that it's a peace of mind because we can send over, and then if the motor is sealed, we're pretty sure that nobody's going to touch. Yeah. And those seals are kept in a safe here, so it's counted. We know how many goes out, and nobody has access to that, so that's one thing. Another thing is, I don't know if he's going to continue to put glue on the track for the new track. So if he doesn't, I think you guys should change to rubber. That could be one thing.
Well, interestingly, I mean, I know why you say that, but what we found is if you do a little bit of running with sponge tires
On a clean track?
On a clean track, it rubbers in. Because the foam is softer, it does actually leave, some on the track. Yeah. And you notice it, it does rubber in. Yeah.
And I agree with foam tires. It would be much easier to set up the cars, and they would be much closer.
That that is a key point, I think, because we mentioned earlier you have a range of abilities of the entrants that you have. So you have the experts and you have the enthusiasts, and the enthusiasts come along and they want to do as well as they can. But I mean, if you look at Ian's car on the race on Sunday, you know that it takes an expert to set up a car that way. You can see it, the way it runs.
Many hours of
So
dedication.
So with the sponge tires, I think you're going to get somebody who's going to do extremely well, like an Ian. You're going to get that anyway.
There's somebody who's going to come with 10 different tires with different heights and threads and rounded corners or not.
Well, we ran handout tires on the day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, on the day.
That's good.
Yes. Yeah. Just to kind of limit that. And what it does is it closes the field up. So someone who's come from out of town has a bit of a chance to reach the semis or whatever.
Do you have one of those sets here?
No, I don't. No.
I would like to try one.
I can send some to you.
Well, it's a part number, right?
Exactly. It's a standard product. You just true them down to a certain diameter.
And you don't even have to glue it.
No, on the Group Cs, no, you don't. No. No. We did experiment with it, but what we found was that it made the car a bit tippy. And we didn't want that. We wanted a nice event where people, were doing consistent laps and getting pleasure out of it.
That's very interesting. Maybe we should change to foam. And the good thing is they wear, and then we're going to be selling more tires. Finally, there's people racing the same tires for 5 years in a row here now.
Maurizio would love you.
I wasn't even born, and people have the same tires.
Let's just focus on the tires a little bit. I have to say, tires are the limiting factor on the event that you've got here. Tires are the limiting factor. The chassis, they can be equally good, but what allows you to be running at the front is how you've set your tires. And I think that with that G25 tyre, it's a great tyre. It's a really good tyre. It's difficult to true, and I think with the event running in hot conditions and on that track in particular, because it's a very smooth track, it polishes the tyres. I think you're right on the edge of the operating window of those G25s. If the weather was cooler, great. If the track was a little bit less smooth, you can't do anything about that, but that would bring things back a little bit as well. But because it's so smooth and so hot, I think you're right on the edge of the operating window of those tyres, right on the limit.
So should we try a G20?
I would suggest trying something harder. I would say harder.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm now interested on the foam tires with the clean track. I'm going to give it a try on that one. Because the foam tires, the softness just makes the car all around smoother.
It is. It's a lot more forgiving.
Yeah.
And if the tail begins to snap out, you can catch it. You can't do that with the G25s. And an interesting thing about the foam tires is they're very narrow in comparison to a rubber tire. They're very narrow. They need to be narrow to work, but they do work. They do work.
Very interesting. The only problem is that I'm gonna have to have like 5 people trim tires, 75, 100 pairs of tires.
10 truers.
10 truers at the same time.
Well, for the Australian Nationals, I was running a production line. I had my workbench at home, and I had 2 tyre truers, and that was enough. I could have run a third, but I had 2. So I had the back track doing a deep cut, so I could do 2 at a time, and I did that. That was a deep cut, and then I put those into, I kept them in pairs after that, and I put those into bins, and then I did the final cut on a scale auto.
Oh, okay. Tire.
Yeah.
So another idea is just to bring someone with experience on those 2 days earlier.
Oh, yeah.
For the hotel room full of foam. Covered in foam.
Yeah, get the aircon running and the tire truers running. Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting. We should try that. Maybe I'd love to do handout tires. I think takes one. I don't want to say advantage, because whoever has the advantage, it's merit. But I think slot cars are always dedication.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not a top driver and you do put your time on thinking about your car and coming here and putting some training and it has different setups and trying scientifically what you're doing, I think that's going to bring the results. You're probably not going to win the race, but your personal results are going to be up. And I hate to take this from whoever has, like Ryan Delgado, which is a guy who just started. He makes great tires. He landed like 8 pairs around here.
He loaned a set to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Ryan is going to take like Ryan, Todd, Ian, those top guys, Herman, who has his own brand of tires.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The Hermanators.
Okay.
I would take a little bit of the advantage of those guys, but I think the whole field, especially because the foam tires will make the cars, will correct a lot of flaws with the cars. They make much easier to drive in any class. So you should think about it.
It's a difficult question, and you're going to get people who are for it and some people who are going to be against it, and you have to take a balanced view of it. You know, what's good for the event, what's the best thing for the event.
And another thing I need to check with Maurice is that how many he does per batch, because I know that foam, they never carry the same quality. If you do a second batch, even if you ask for the factory to do exactly the same, so I need to make sure that at least the tires that I have for the event are the same batch.
Yeah.
And I also need tires to sell because people they're gonna need to practice beforehand.
Yes.
So it's a different way to work on it. But it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm not gonna deny it.
Yeah.
But coming back to Australia, is Australia divided into West and East too, or you guys are more together? Because I know that there are more shops there, and the scene is not that. The scene is kind of big.
It's an interesting time we're in at the moment, Marco, because 10 years ago we had like 5 commercial centres in Metro Sydney. Now we have one major one, Slot Shop, and we have another that is it's not quite so active. They've got some tracks, but it's not quite so active because it's at the extreme west of the city.
And who's that?
I can't remember the name exactly, but it's in a suburb called Penrith. Okay. So Penrith Slotcars.
Okay. What about Armchair Racing?
Armchair, about 5-6 years ago, they let go of their tracks. Oh. So they're still a retail operation. Okay. But they let go of their tracks, which was a tremendous blow for the scene. It really was.
Were they located close to you in Sydney or the other side?
They were fairly central.
Okay.
Yeah, central north. They were in a good location. Yeah, and they had a couple of good tracks, and a lot of people used it as their base. Yes. You know? So yeah, that was a very sad day when they decided to change their business model. But commercial rents in Sydney are horrendous. No. Absolutely horrendous. So for a small margin business like slot car racing.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
This is probably the most expensive square feet in the city.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, you're competing with the aerospace companies around here, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank God Scott owns the building. It'll be a problem. And we have a good tenant here on the side too.
Yeah.
Because it's people. That's something that people don't understand, and I don't want to elaborate much on that. But people don't know how lucky they are to have this place open with 3 tracks on this location.
It's incredible.
It's just like we just have Buena Park closed, and Buena Park was 40 minutes from here, and this is much more central, and we have in a much more metropolitan area.
Yeah.
And people complain about paying $5 an hour.
Yeah.
Just like, you know how much it's really just to just calculate the square footage. It's probably $25 a month.
Yeah.
Per square.
Yes. Yeah. And you know the same kind of metrics apply in the Sydney scene. You know, it's very difficult for businesses to keep their heads above water.
Well, in the 60s, late 60s, when they called the golden era, Philippe de L'Espinay tells in the book that we have over 3,000 slot car raceways in America. 3,000. That's more than Subway restaurants today.
That's 60 per state.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Probably with regions like California have many more. So right here, only around here in the 30 minutes the drive, you could find 25, 30.
Right.
And right now we have ourselves open to the public, and you have Piranha Raceway, and then you have Big Lou's, which is a plastic track that is not open on business hours, but you can go there and race on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
So I have these 3 places in the. It's hard because I don't know how Piranha does it. It's a big building, a little far, but it's a big building. The way we do it is just based on online sales. So if I have to separate it, if I just have the raceway part of it, I don't think would be.
No. I don't think you can run a business on tracks.
On tracks.
Yeah.
No. Even if I'm charging $40 the registration fee and whatever, try to charge as much as I can, doesn't happen. Even because people don't realize that they have to support the local raceway. That's a saying from the 60s. And if you don't do it, they're going to close and then you don't have where to race. If you buy your stuff online to come race here, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And that's my daily argument with my vendors, because there's a lot of competitors who doesn't do nothing to celebrate slot car racing. So there's a lot of people without tracks that sell online. And when I see people here with the little boxes from my competitor, I don't feel because of the sale itself. I just feel for the guy, because why are you buying this thing there if you have it here?
Yeah.
Just because they $2 cheaper, $3 cheaper, because they give you a 5% discount on your first sale.
Yeah.
Just support here, because then it makes sense for us to keep this here. Which is just basic thought, and people still do that. I don't know why.
Well, I think, I mean, Eddie and I have been talking, a little bit about how do we grow the hobby in Sydney, because we still have commercial centres, but they are no longer based in Metro Sydney. They are based up the coast.
Okay.
So it can be as much as a 6-hour drive to get to, I think it's Port Macquarie, which is north of, well north of Sydney, 400 miles. So it's a long haul to get up there for an event.
Yeah.
And there's a couple more in between that location and Sydney as well.
Talking about long haul, we just came from Australia to this.
Yeah. But if you're doing it for slot car racing, I know the guys come down from San Fran. That's a regular drive for some of those guys.
Yes.
But that's for a big event. You don't come down. You don't make that sort of trek for a small event. Yeah. So Eddie and I have been talking about how do we grow it? How do we encourage the youngsters to come in?
Yes.
Didn't Andrew do well, by the way?
What a surprise.
Yeah, well done, Andrew.
What a surprise.
Well done.
He's from Michigan. He was here visiting family, I think. And his father came to me on Thursday. Yeah. Is there still space? I say, I have 2 dropouts. Yeah. And then I lent him a car. He didn't like very much. Richard Rodriguez came along and gave him a car. He was more comfortable. Yeah. And they were supporting. I rushed to make a badge with his name so the kids could have the badge.
Nice one. Good one.
And then they show up with a Cloverleaf t-shirt on the race day. What the hell?
You got to support your local raceway.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. And they have a raceway, so no problem on that. But it's a little frustrated.
Yeah, he did well. He's got a good mindset for racing.
This is a car. He was teaching Carlos about the MR2 that was upstairs. Right. Yeah, he just gave the whole tech inspection. Okay. Tech sheet for the car. There's a 1.8 engine and blah blah blah. Yeah. Carlos, the boy just school me on a car. Yeah. He's 11 years old. It's amazing. Yeah. Very intense racer.
Yeah, we have a young guy in our group in Sydney, Nick. I think he's 14, maybe 15. I'm not aware of his birthday. But again, the mindset is just right. He's fairly calm.
What about Jake?
Jake is good.
Jake and Peter, right? His father is Peter, right?
Jake.
Yeah.
I only know Jake. Jake is a little bit older, and he's had his big exams recently. Oh, okay. So he's had to take a step back recently. Okay,
yeah. His father works here in LA, so once a year he comes to this town.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But so the other parts of the Australian scene, you have New South Wales, which is the major state in Australia. You have Victoria, and it's a similar situation there. There were more raceways, but they're closing down one by one. Just because rents are so high. Yeah, it's the commercials, and I think sometimes that's where we as hobbyists and enthusiasts, that's where we don't really understand the commercials as well as obviously you guys do, and I think sometimes the requirements of the hobbyist and the requirements of running a business are very different, very very different, and they don't always work together. At all the touch points.
And who's the middle of the fire? Myself.
Yeah, and it's tough. That's really tough. And Eddie experiences the same thing. He talks to people. He has one conversation with a bunch of guys on the hobby level, and he talks to his supplier's on a completely different level. He talks to his landlord on another level again, and he has to juggle it all. And it's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy. So, yeah, I think we suffer from consoles. The PlayStation and Xbox. We suffer from that.
Well, we started suffering from that in '96. So.
Yeah. So you want to if you don't have a dedicated track at home, what do? You go into the living room. You move the furniture to one side. You put a layout down. Yeah. And Mum says you've got to put that away before dinner. Yeah. Console.
It became like a seasonal hobby.
Yeah.
Like Christmas or whatever it is. You got a gift, you put it out, you use for a month or so. Family gets okay. Now it's time to put it back. And then put it back, and then maybe next Christmas is back.
Yeah.
And then when they need to go out to do this as a hobby, to put like a toolbox together, we don't have the tracks anymore. Do you have many people with tracks at home there?
Yeah. So
like permanent tracks at home?
Yes. Yeah, there are. There's the living space in Australian homes, especially when you get outside of the city. The living space is pretty good, so people have spare rooms, etc. So again, if you take a look at my podcast, one of the tracks I was practicing on is a home track. A friend of mine, Pierre, who very kindly said I could use his track for practice, and he's got a beautiful setup at home. He's got a summer house in the bottom of his garden. And it's all about slot cars.
That's good.
That's it. It's all about.
You need to bring this man here, man.
Yeah. Well, I did invite him to come over actually, but he's got some work things on at the moment. So
it's a long trip.
Yeah,
it's a long trip.
Well, I'm sure he'd love to. I'm sure he would.
No. Yeah. Do you know if you have clubs over there? Like we have the Far Out Club here, with people who race at people's houses in an organized way.
It's less formal than that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the commercial raceways host most of the racing, but there is home-based racing. Yes, there is. Yeah, but it's not so expansive as it is here.
No.
Yeah.
Here, I think the East Coast has most of those home tracks and small club racers and people with crazy tracks. I remember what's the name of the gentleman in Michigan with the highly decorated track on the basement?
Oh,
Jimmy. Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
See that thing.
Jimmy Attard?
Yes.
You've had him here, haven't you?
Not here, but we interviewed him.
Oh, I was there. Okay, yeah.
Went there to see the track.
Yes.
And he created a digital system.
Yes.
Which is completely developed. It's what? How does it work?
Isn't it based on AC or something?
Yes.
And you know the lower half of the sine curve is.
Don't try to explain to me now. I didn't understand there. I'm not going to understand here. It just works, and that's fine.
I'm not pretending I understand. I just come out with some words that are appropriate, and
Well, if you see the podcast, he explained to me, saying, "Oh yeah, sure."
Yeah.
And then Dennis Sensen tried to explain to me again. Say, sure, that's great. And I can't take it.
Dennis was explaining to me the other day the two types of choke, the voltage choke and the current choke, and I'm thinking, there's a difference? Okay.
Well, when Mauricio comes here to try to explain the oxygen system, he just fell asleep.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I need to understand that, but I know we're going to have a track.
Yeah.
Next year, next Nationals, we might add a new event. We're going to have a team enduro.
Yeah.
So the idea is, and you're the first one to hear, and to lay on top of the 8-lane track, to lay a 4-lane polycar track, running digital, so we can have some sort of a discus kind of disca event here with LMP cars, and you're gonna run a enduro. I don't know when, but it's gonna be on that weekend.
Yeah.
Between 4 a.m. and 7. That's gonna be the event.
On Saturday, Saturday night going through, or whatever,
Let me ask you, before you go to your personal slot car race life, how do you feel? I have some people complaining that they have to stay here available for many, many hours. They don't have many track time. Which for me is kind of part of the experience, because I don't see nobody doing nothing. People are either here or at the hotel resting or just networking. And I feel the anticipation for the qualifying, even if you're there for 1 minute, only for the whole Saturday, it's like your heartbeat is valid for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So the anticipation for me builds the event, which is something that I had on my younger years doing slot car racing.
Yeah.
My local hop shop did one race a year, and everybody was there for that day. and everybody was excited. That's kind of the feeling that I'm trying to bring here. Instead of making more rules, more classes, or having races on the plastic track and whatever it is.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like your time was well used, or do you feel like you should have more track time?
I would have liked a little bit more track time, but, and I need to qualify that, I'm an out-of-towner, so I would be using that additional time to get used to the track layout. The setup of my car is probably done by that stage, so I was happy with that part of it. But I would just like hours on the track, just so I can get my muscle memory going, and that kind of thing. So I can see why people say that, particularly the out-of-town races. I think maybe you could introduce a little bit of what we did last year, which was you had the Californian guys and the rest of the world. And if you were in the rest of the world, you got a little bit more track practice time, maybe. It's not so important for the California guys. And I say California very specifically because I mean the Electric Dreams guys and the NorCal guys and everybody in between, because they've got experience of the track. So track time for practice isn't so important. Track time for setting up the car, we all need that. But once you've got the car set up, you're pretty much done and dusted.
It's problematic because if you separate in NordCal, SoCal, whatever it is, there are always new people who want more new track time.
Then you can give them a concession. If they are genuinely new, if they're new.
Well, one thing that will solve this, if you have more manpower, we could just be open to midnight.
Yes.
Just leave it open, the track.
And I think the racers would go with that.
Yeah.
I think they would.
Just leave it open, put somebody on front desk and keep going and just to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Someone means me or Carlos, or probably both of us.
Most likely.
Most likely it's going to be us here.
Yeah. But I'm sure there would be racers who would go for that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's. I think we need more time on the days that you are here, not trying to open for Wednesday because you're not going to be here on Wednesday. We need somebody on Friday and Saturday that just extends everything so people can really try. We will figure out. I think it was a good improvement for this year, and I think we still have room for improvement. Yeah. But tell me more about yourself. How did you get into this hobby? And you're not from Australia, right?
I wondered if you're going to raise that. Okay. So I'm here, and I'm absolutely delighted to be able to represent Australia because that's where I live, and I've lived there since 2009. Okay. But I'm from the UK originally. So there's
what part of the UK?
Down in the south, there's a county as we have it. It's called Hampshire, and I live in I was born and brought up in a town called Andover, and I was so lucky with my upbringing. I had fantastic parents. I had a fantastic upbringing. It was back in the 60s. It was a much more innocent time. You could go out riding your bike. Kids were safe.
We had this in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Kind of.
Yeah. I had it.
So I was.
We're muggy here and there, but still go out.
No, there was no. It's like there was no crime when I was growing up. I guess as a kid you're just not aware of it. But I was lucky with my schools, lucky with my friends. I had a really great upbringing, and around about the age of 12, I became aware of slot cars. I had a train set from prior, from like when I was about 5 years old. I think my dad bought that because he wanted it, and him and a mate of his, they wanted a train set and a train layout. So I had this Christmas present that was a train set, and I just wasn't aware of it at all, what it was like at all. But then when I saw slot cars, it just blew my mind. And that I got interested in a little bit in slot cars, but only standard scale electric product. Nothing sexy.
Do you remember which one was the first one?
It
came in a set.
It was a set, and
was it a Christmas gift?
It was, yeah. And the first two, the two cars in there were the Lotus 72 in the JPS livery, and I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a Ronnie Peterson helmet. I'm pretty sure. And the other one was the March, the red March, which Scott has at his home. Is it the 701 or the 721?
Oh, the real car that he has at home.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Was you surprised? Were you surprised when you saw the thing?
I was blown away. I've got photos of it because I thought I remember this car from my childhood. Yeah.
So this guy's really into slot cars. He has the real car that I have.
Yeah. So obviously Scott has run that on, Laguna or whatever, and So yeah, it's
so you know what the track we have attached to the track, the crashed side pod of that car. Did you notice that?
Oh yes.
So that was a crash in Monaco.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
By Ronnie Peterson.
Okay.
And right behind you have the wing.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't know.
Look at that. The wing, the crashed wing over there.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So that was another crash in Monaco. We have pieces of it.
And of course, it may not be that particular chassis, but it's a very famous car because it's one of the first Formula One cars that Niki Lauda ever drove. Yeah. So he was with Ronnie Peterson, and I think it gave the March engineers a headache because they knew they had Ronnie Peterson. This guy knows what he's talking about, and had this new kid called Niki Lauda, and what the hell does he know? But he's coming up with all these recommendations and suggestions. And it turns out that, Lauda was actually right. The car was a bit of a dog. Yeah.
I think they won one race with that car during the 72 season.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, that was the Scalextric set. And my brother, who was 5 years younger than me, so I was 12, he was about 7. I wanted to run the Lotus because it was such an iconic car. And so he had the March. And I think I've got that around the right way. So I was running the Lotus, and he wanted to run the Lotus. So my dad persuaded me to move all the fast parts from the March, put them into the Lotus for my brother to run, and I would get all the dog parts, and they would be in the March, and I would be running the March. And I didn't understand why, but then, it became...
Younger brother, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So he needs a handicap.
Exactly. And it just shows you, a father's wisdom, doesn't it? My dad was right. Of course he was. My brother needed a bit of a leg up.
Well, a surprise for you.
Oh, look at that. There you go.
Before the crash.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Before the crash, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, so that was a set that you could buy at the time. And then obviously, you buy more cars and what have you. Yeah.
Was it easy to access by then?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Scalextric, as a UK brand, Scalextric was omnipresent. Yeah.
Yeah, but by that time, a little bit later, Scalextrics were selling in Spain under the same brand.
Yes.
And they were so popular that they come with magazines. You can buy a magazine with a special magazine, and it comes with a slot car.
Yeah.
So you literally have slot cars coming out of newsstands.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's. I think the problem that we have, thinking about the new generation, is that you have this memory, this nostalgic memory.
Yeah.
That kind of, okay, I know how to do this. It's a hobby that I like, and maybe, okay, let me develop more. We have it because we also had this in the 80s. But the next generation, our generation is already touched by computer games and computers and internet.
Yeah.
But the next one has no access to it.
No.
So 90s, 2000s, 2010s, we're talking about 3 generations. Now we're trying to make this back.
Yeah.
But whoever was born in the 90s, they're already like almost 40 years old, 30 something.
Yeah.
And that generation, which is now coming back because now they have families, kids, and now they're looking for a hobby. They don't have the nostalgic memory of, okay, let me find out about slot cars. They don't know nothing about slot cars. So they walk in here with a 3-year-old kid looking for a hobby, and they don't have it. So this, for me, is the number one problem, because we're not going to have the rebound generation of people who had the memory.
Well, when I started to learn about the engineering of the cars was in the 70s, because I moved from the standard Scalextric models to scratch builds. So me and 2 friends, we used to race every weekend at each other's houses. We'd rotate and we'd put together a different layout. So
I had a club there.
Yeah, so it was very informal, but I would do Silverstone and my other favourite tracks. So I did Monza, I did Paul Ricard. One of my other friends, he had his favourite track, so he would do Monaco and Nürburgring maybe.
So you had access to track pieces too?
Yeah, well, we pooled.
Oh.
Yeah, we pulled. So I put a yellow dot on my track pieces, and Paul used
all the track
blue dot, and we just pulled our track pieces.
They have the same color, or is it kind of like different?
No, it was different. Luckily, so we ran a series, but we scratch built our own cars. So we got the engineering down, and they weren't great cars. Don't get me wrong, but you get the principles. You need the guide to work like this, you need the wires to work, so that they feed the motor, you need the gears to work, you need the tires to be round, and we had great fun. But scratch building teaches you a hell of a lot. And as you say, that's just not available now. As an entry point, it's just not available. So, yeah.
But at the same time, cars are cheaper, much more reliable, much more available.
And look at the finish on them nowadays. Yeah. They're incredible, aren't they?
And you can get online. You can come to a store like this. They're going to be at your door. Even a full set.
Yeah.
Have all the track pieces.
And there's more manufacturers doing more models. More. Yeah. And they're true scale. Now, I know that's a big thing for Maurizio. They're true scale, and personally, I like that.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, we debate a lot about this. We hope that we have more guys like young Andrew, 11-year-old, coming here and almost beating Dennis Sanson qualifying, which is pretty cool.
Well, he came third in his heat, didn't he?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Great result.
And it was not one of the early heats; it was one of the late heats.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have Elias as well, who's a bit younger.
Yeah, I think Elias is 20, 22.
Okay.
I think Braden is younger. Braden is 18.
Of course.
Justin Colvin is very experienced, but he's only 24, 25.
Yeah.
I'm 33.
Yeah.
If you say so.
But yeah, like many races. Probably all the races that I entered, I'm probably the younger, and I'm 44. So it's again, the 90s, 2000s generation, they don't have the nostalgic memory, and they're not gonna come back to something that they never did.
And then it's a steep learning curve, then, isn't it? Because you're then up against experienced guys who do have that experience base, and they're putting cars together that are flying, and you're running around with a car that sounds like it's a food mincer because the gear mesh isn't working properly or whatever, So. And I think it could be easy. You can get easily disheartened.
Yes, and plus those guys, they do nothing around the house. For example, like they don't have any hand skills.
Yes. Yeah.
Even Elias is a very interested racing car. He drives the boy drives an M3 BMW, and he's really into cars. He goes to meetings and stuff. He knows everything about it. Yeah. And he asked for a summer job here 2 years ago, right? He didn't ask, he demanded. It's like, Marco, I have this time, I will be coming to the stores. Are you sure? You can do it. So he worked here for like 2 months.
A little bit more.
Yeah. And I remember asking him, he helped with the plastic track. He helped us a lot. I remember passing the drill for him, and he came very, I'm sorry, Elias, I'm going to have to tell that. He came very politely, Marco, if I press here, it's going to go that way or this way. And I say, Elias, it's just this knob. Oh, okay. So he goes with the drill, he's holding with 2 hands, like it's like a gun on his hand. So they don't have this. Like everything is ready to go, and everything is so just expendable.
Yeah.
Like if something, if your washing machine breaks, you don't even know what. Just trash it and get a new one.
That's a classic example. My dad, his business, he was self-employed. His business was repairing washing machines and vacuum cleaners.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen nowadays.
It doesn't happen nowadays. Yeah.
The warranty's done. You get a new one.
You get a new one. I remember having the same fridge until I was 27 years old.
Yeah.
And my mom, she just changed it because she moved. Mm-hmm. It was the same brown fridge from Brastemp in Brazil, and it was the family fridge.
Yeah. But now, as you say, you replace stuff. My partner, she had a small accident in her car, and the passenger door got scratched. And I was talking to the guy in the body shop. I said, "Oh, so you just take the inside interior off and just tap it out?" He said, "No, we'll throw it away and get a new door in."
New door.
Yeah, the door was 95% okay.
Yeah,
and that's just where we are. So, as you say, screwdriver skills and what have you, they're just not there anymore. And we were talking about people getting disheartened. Sometimes when I'm running practice laps on a Saturday or a Sunday, if we're not racing, you're doing things with your race car, and you're doing close to what the lap record is. You're getting close, and there'll be somebody who walks in and they take a new Carrera car out of the box, and they expect to be as quick as you.
Yeah, the frustration.
Because they just don't have the depth of knowledge yet.
Yeah.
And so they put the car on the track, and of course on a wood track, the Carrera is going to be 5 seconds slower per lap than a tuned car.
Yeah.
And then it hits them, and then they put the car away after half an hour of running. They walk out, and you never see them again.
Yeah.
So I think what we also need is we need people we need to create environments for newbies, and I think that goes on. And I think Todd and Nina touched on this on their podcast. We need race series.
Who?
Todd and Ian on their Spinning Opinion podcast. I think we need race series for newbies, or some kind, not handicap system, but a tiered system, Pro-Am or something like that. Where we can have a safe space for newbies to come in and not feel embarrassed and not feel disheartened.
The problem is not the race. The problem is the time before the race. It's frustrating. That's why we never wanted to have an old school raceway where people come here and leave their stuff for the week. And if somebody new walks in, they see like 10 people just sitting and working a car on a level that they even to watch, they're never going to be there. To get to that level, it's steps. So if you have someone new, and my expectation, if this guy really wants to race, he's going to get around, he's going to be friendly, and some people are going to lend him a pair of tires, and they're going to run. So it's not the race itself, it's not the result, because the result, I have people winning the very first heat and celebrating with a little plaque, doing interviews, so this is great. For them, the day is I won my race.
Yes.
It's not the race itself, and it's very hard to cut in tears, because there's always someone who's going to try to sandbag to be there, or there is always someone who's going to be offended that I put. If I decide to who's going to be what, it's going to be very. The only way that I see this happening, and still going to have people sandbagging or people with a bad, like, let's see, by qualifying. Okay, we have the the first 30, and then the 45 running for the B. And then you're there, you're clearly A group, and something happens in your 1 minute qualifying and you cannot close a lap. You're going to race B that year? So, and it's very harsh for us between qualifying Saturday and Sunday. You already have qualifying a separate day, which is probably the only race that does that. To go to a list of 75 racers and try to go one by one, and they're going to have always that 5 people that is up and 5 people that is down that's supposed to be there, and I have to approach one by one, and there is eagles around, and there's a bunch of stuff. So it's very harsh. I prefer to leave it free by merit, and if they won the race, I came second. Just say Andrew came in third on his race. That's great.
But I think also that there's like weekend club racing, and there's big events like this. So if the big events, you put them to one side for now. How do we attract people in to just to club racing so they become regulars?
Several things. The first one is to have an attractive store like this. This is where investment is.
Absolutely.
So if people walk in, I want to be part of it. Secondly, it's the group of people. You need to, as an administrator, you need to see who is helping and who are not. As you know, being around for Slotcar tracks probably longer than me, there is a lot of gossip. There is a lot of people trying to boycott. This year, we have 5 or 6 people who race every single race done to this day. For some reason, they decide to boycott. And they were here during the weekend trying to help. Trying to help on their way. They want to participate, but for some political reason or something that I say, they got offended, which is fine. But then you have to get rid of those people, because those people are not helping.
Well, you always have dynamics. In any social group, you always have dynamics. But what I'm thinking about is, how do you get somebody who's on the outside of the hobby, how do you get them in? And you can give them...
The first thing is the environment. The first thing is it is welcoming. Are those guys here? Can I relate to those guys somehow? I remember there was a case of a guy, I don't want to say his name, but he was very into it. He got a box, got all the cars, he got the rule book, I got to set up one car of each. And then one guy came to ask for help from one guy who was here almost every day. And this guy say, and very unexpected, because this guy is very polite, usually. He said, oh, there's newbies, this generation doesn't know how to do anything. And he got offended. He came to me and said, look, this guy just blend this on me, and it's just like, well, it's not his. He's probably joking or something. And he got offended. This guy, I never saw this guy again. There's several like people who came here and raced in the last nationals who just stopped racing because they got frustrated somehow. So we need to fish them in, and then we need to figure out how they keep them here.
And somehow we need to put our arm around them and say, let's try this, let's try that. And this is why I talk about Pro-Am, is because if you do that, you naturally have a pro putting their arm around the new guy, the amateur.
But people are not willing to help. Some people some people pass me without saying hi because they're so focused on their races. I have out of the top guys, they don't help other people. When I see that Brian gave away 7 of his great set of tires, that's what I was expecting for everybody to do it. So people they share their own way, but I don't see people. Well, your car is a piece of shit. Come on here and just put the wheels up, put the brakes on the place. See if the guy is wrong. The car is going to be a tenth faster, there.
Which is why you need a separate class like a Pro-Am, whereby the only way to participate is
if you adopt someone.
Is to adopt somebody. But
then I cannot force people to do it. I cannot.
Then they don't enter. They don't enter. Yeah. But there is a trophy at the end of it. Yeah. So there is an incentive, and there's bragging rights and what have you. And you bring along people, and you know what? The next weekend, those AM guys, they're coming in and they're doing their own thing. Yeah. Now, if you give them a really fast Slot.it or NSR or Scale Auto, they're not going to be fast, but they're going to be better than they were without your help.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, when you came here, I have my box out. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I set up like 8 to 9 cars, and I help over 5 people. But at some point on Thursday, Friday, I need to get out.
Of course.
Because I had something else to do. But one of the cases was Dave Rose. I saw him running. The car was really bad.
Yeah.
I picked up his car for 20 minutes. I put the wheels on the side. I polished the tires. I helped like basic stuff that anybody who ended up in the first 25 spots, they knew.
Yeah.
He won the rear. He won his heat.
Yeah.
So it's just basic stuff. And don't only do and give back. So they sit on my side. Look, we're going to do this. We're going to put this screw here. We're going to change this one.
Yeah.
So next car, he's already on his way. He already know how to do it. But again, I don't see people willing to help.
But it's a difficult area though, isn't it, Marco? Because some people have developed techniques and configurations for their cars that work really well, and they've put a lot of time and effort into that, into establishing those techniques and setups, and it becomes IP. It becomes their own personal IP.
But yes and no, because it's a very limited rule book, and the car is very limited. It's a plastic car. Yeah. You're not putting together the chassis or own design.
Sure, but what is going to encourage those individuals to give that away? They feel that they've put a lot of time and effort.
You don't need to. It's just like for those guys who really need work, it's basic stuff. Mm-hmm. You don't, like any of the top guys, will not expend more than 20 minutes just to make the car 2 tenths faster.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
Like if you see somebody struggling, just don't ignore it. Just, hey, what's going on? Let me take a look at the car.
Yeah.
You don't even have to touch the car. Just pick it up the car and say, look, you should put the pod this way. You should do this brake this way. And just follow the guy. See when he comes back to the track, say, look, now let me take a look at the car.
Yeah.
It's just basic stuff. I did like 5 or 6 cars, and everyone improved. Everyone improved. And I'm not being racing. I don't remember last time I raced a 132nd scale car.
Yeah.
Well, it was Modesto, that fiasco. But
no, but if you're a competitor and you come to a nationals level event like this, you're focused on your performance.
Stuff, yes. There's people investing money, time, and everything else.
And I had a conversation with Todd Ellery, and Todd was very kind. He gave me some pointers. He wanted me to do it, and I'm fully on board with that. So I made the changes that he suggested, but he gave me a little bit of time, and I know that he helps other guys with their tires because he's very good with tires as well.
Mm-hmm. He made a video for us. How to
awesome video, awesome video, and the other one with Dennis as well. So that's
two different techniques.
Yeah,
and they're both sharing their IP.
Yeah, but that's the exception. And we need the other guys to open up a little bit.
That we had the joke for that, right? It's supposed to be that video was never out because we never finished. Because I want to put like a header saying, how to do the video, 3 options. So the first option will be Dennis, second option will be Dennis, third will be me with a big knife just hitting something on the board and have pieces coming out in 30 seconds. And then when I show, I will have Dennis' hand showing him this is my result. We never did that. Remember that? Never did that. How old are you?
63.
You're looking good for 63.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel good, but I can feel myself getting old. When you get up in the morning, the joints don't work.
I can feel myself getting old at 44.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's not funny. Really not funny.
Like the eyesight.
Yeah.
Like we used to just see things. Now I have to take my glass off.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And I need more light when I'm doing stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's natural. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm good.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Just what we want to hear.
Sure.
Just what we want to hear. Yeah.
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 There's an interesting story between Carlos and I because I believe that I met him at the slot car track. First time without knowing him. We were 9 to 10 years old, and his best friend was also a guy named Marco, and that guy lived like 3 stories down from my building, and Carlos was 2 blocks away. Marco was the only kid in the block with a 8-figure slot car track, and he had only one functional car. So the rule was we have this big queue behind it, and we run until we crash it. Once you crash it, the next kid comes in.
Yeah.
And it was not an event, but he invited people over, and they have like this line of 15 kids around the track. And I'm pretty sure that Carlos was there because he has the same memory, and I have the same memory. But I didn't met and get introduced because I was just a kid. But we met around the slot car track.
Yeah.
Later we met formally on college, but
Yeah. This sounds like the sort of thing that would happen, though, doesn't it?
Crazy, right? Talk about karma.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did, but drink caipirinha, the Holy Grail.
No, I don't drink alcohol. Where we go next? What's your suggestion?
Okay, so
the horrible interviewer.
Well, I mentioned the scratch building that we did. So we just used to build our favorite cars. So one of my friends, his favorite team was McLaren. So he would come along with a couple of McLaren M23s in the Marlboro livery.
Oh, nice.
James Hunt, Jochen Mass or something like that. I was a Lotus fan. I always loved the Lotuses from the 72, in particular the 79.
Okay.
And so I always used to build Lotuses. And
79, the Mario Andretti one, right?
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to take a bit of a time out here. So I did a video yesterday just summarizing the race. And I said, I felt like I underperformed. Getting to 13th again, I underperformed. I think if everything went my way, I could have got a 7th or an 8th, possibly. I wasn't going to be the top 6, but I could maybe get a 7th or an 8th if everything went well.
But on that bump heat to have Pogorowski.
Yeah.
This guy's badass.
It wasn't that so much. I think I was experiencing the power supply issues that the other guys were experiencing in the semi as well. Because lap to lap, it was different. I couldn't go into the corners knowing what I was going to get. I didn't know. So at first I put it down to tyres. I was blaming my tyres. But on reflection, it wasn't that. Because if you have bad tyres, they're consistently bad around the whole lap. And they're the same for the next lap.
Yeah, Todd told me on the last race that he found those surges on the green lane. And I came here with Dennis and we reviewed the mass, whatever we could. We couldn't find anything. We measured the track like almost every 3 feet, especially on the junctions. I had a plan for this year to have individual power supplies. Just like I have here on the big track. But Pellegrini, Hurricane Pellegrini couldn't come. So I plan to have for next year individual power supplies and we revisit the junctions that we have on the track because after the rebraid, I think it should be improved a little bit.
Yeah. But look, it's racing. That's what it is. So I was in my podcast. I was just saying to the viewers, I'm in a bit of a bad mood now, and they probably say don't do a podcast when you're in a bad mood. So I thought no, let's keep it real. So part of my podcast was how do you bring yourself out of that funk? How do you bring? And so my answer was you buy yourself a present. And so I showed the viewers my Osterero.
Oh, but the Osterero, which one?
The Mario Andretti Lotus 79.
Is it the greenish or the black one?
No, the black one.
The black one.
The championship winning car. Yeah. So possibly my favourite Formula One car of all time. Yeah, because that thing just looked like it was on rails when it was running in 78. It was ridiculous.
Can I tell you a secret? We were this close to have Mario here.
Oh.
Yeah, he was on Long Beach. We sent a car. Yeah. And last minute he canceled.
He's my favourite American racer. Yeah.
He's Italian.
Yeah. Well, look who he drove for. He drove for Lotus. He drove for Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the Indy career was just spectacular too.
Yeah.
The 69 win. I have over there's a little doll of Andy Granatelli right there. And Mario was. And also there is a Mario over there. A Mario figure too.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Little Mario. It's I spoke with him one time. He was driving those 2-seater cars as a promotional in Long Beach.
Yes.
and it's just a bunch of new celebrities around there. So he exits the car, he picks up his helmet, nobody talks to the guy, people taking pictures of the car, nobody knows who he is. So he goes around walking, and I take nice pictures of him. I'm gonna send you the picture so you can put it right in here. And then he comes around, and I say, "Can I walk with you?" I say, "Sure." And then I start to say rubbish with him. And then I have this friend of mine who was like 5 feet away, who probably 15 feet away, walking in front of us, who probably didn't know who Mario was. And he was in a full vest, camera, everything else, so just like, and he didn't take a picture. And just walk around. I walked for like 3 minutes with him talking bullshit, and then he just went away.
See, us old guys, Mario is like, a walking god. He's just,
But I don't think we're gonna ever have him now, because now with the Cadillac,
he's so
Formula
involved.
One, that's
a big program.
Yeah,
that's a huge program.
We had a work window, we couldn't do it, but anyway.
Yeah. I heard a similar story about Jackie Ickx at Spa. I think it was last year, not this year. And he was walking through the paddock, and nobody recognized him.
It was the same here in Long Beach. So he was just walking, and he has his wife is tall and she's black.
Yeah.
And then people, like, one guy kind of stopped him, and I was like, Jack Ickx. So I started to take pictures of him, and then photographers that I know, and say, "That's Jack Ickx." So I have to tell people who he was. Yeah, and he has like this very memorable face. It's just like looks like a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be younger generations who know Michael Andretti better, and and again, so is Michael's son Marco as well?
Marco, Michael. Oh yeah, Marco.
Yeah. So
Michael is. I've been to several IndyCar paddocks and races, and Michael is hard to spot. He knows his way around it. He doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not like the easiest guys to spot.
But Mario,
Mario is Mario.
Yeah.
Mario is more iconic. Like, you can see his.
Did you get his autograph?
I have an autograph right there. You see the picture over there?
Yeah.
Andy Granatelli 69.
Yeah.
The kiss of the autograph is fading a little bit, but it's there.
That might not be there when you turn around. That might disappear. Yeah.
Might disappear. When Ellie won the race, the last one, 2021, I was one of the very first photographers to come to him, and he probably doesn't know me, but I interviewed him during the weekend and everything else, and then I started to speak Portuguese with him, and he kind of locked me, and he goes to do the spider thing on the fence. He came down and he asked me, "Where's Mario?" I said, "Mario's on the first pit box." So he walked to Mario, and if you see the footage, I'm walking with him, and he goes there to kiss Mario, and I have pictures of him kissing Mario. If you see the broadcast, I'm there more than Ellie almost.
Right.
So I walk back with him with Ellie, say, go again to the fence. So he goes against the fence, and I have pictures, like close-ups of him doing a bunch of stuff. It's pretty cool. But I remember him asking for Mario, and he run all the pit boxes, because Marco's pit box was one of the first ones, because he qualified all the way down.
Right.
And he got have like on a pit wall, he kissing Mario and stuff.
So I bought the Osterero.
It's a nice car.
I've never bought one before, because I can't, in my mind, I can't reconcile the cost and the way that it looks versus the risk of putting it on a track. So I won't. It'll never see the track. Never.
Did you take a good look on the car to see if everything's perfect?
Yeah, as much as I need it to be.
Okay.
I'm not one of those guys who, if there's a slight flaw in the paint, that's just a sign that it's been handmade.
Yeah, that's true.
For me,
that's true.
I don't need it to be perfect.
Yeah, we have the Mormon Wasp. We redid the Mormon Wasp with the Hub Classic.
Yeah.
Because they're sold out for a long time ago, and then I think we have 50 of those. We've been selling it, but that's another important car that Osterero made, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the car that invented the rear view mirror.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the big yellow?
The big yellow
with the tail fin and
the first win.
Yeah.
And I bumped to that car so many times, because it stayed at the Indy Museum for a long time, and then when they have the Indy Museum refurbishment, they sent to the Ford Museum, and a couple months ago, me and Carlos were at the Ford Museum. See this car again? It's like I don't want to see this thing anymore. So and then when I come back to Indy, there was the car again. So just like I bumped that thing a lot, and they made an orange version to race the next race, but it's not that important. The yellow one is the hot one to get.
Yeah.
Ian,
So I was just going to say, the Lotus 79,
favorite car
of all time.
Generations. Mine is the MP44.
Yes. Yeah.
That car is just.
I was at Silverstone when the first MP4 McLaren won. It was John Watson, and it was a memorable
MP4
Yeah. And it was a memorable race because, a memorable result because it was the first carbon fiber tub to win a Formula One race, and that thing flew around that track because it was so stiff. You get the aerodynamic stability, so it had a lot of downforce, and they had reliability because
was that Silverstone?
Yeah, and it was a Cosworth, and the Renaults and the BMWs and the Ferraris all sort of fell by the wayside. You know,
the BMW was the Brabham. Right?
Yeah, it was the early turbo era. So yeah, that was if you like, it was the carbon version of the Lotus 79. Yeah. It's good.
Interesting.
Nice car, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the MP44 for the first time. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That was because my whole teenage years watching that Senna driving that thing and dominating and stuff like.
So important for Brazilian motorsport. Because Emerson, he won 2 championships.
2 championships.
Yeah. You know,
he was the pioneer. If you ask anybody over there, he was the guy who took a plane and kind of opened up for everybody.
Yeah.
Nelson Piquet has also stories. Like Nelson Piquet, one day they decided to do a Formula 3 event or something.
Yeah.
He just landed in Heathrow. He said, okay, what do I do now? Doesn't even know where to go.
I remember watching Nelson Piquet at Thruxton, my local motor racing circuit, because they had a good, I think they had a Easter Monday was a big Formula 3 race, and Nelson Piquet was in that race. Yeah. So yeah, the heritage coming out of Brazil is completely disproportionate.
Yeah.
It
Ricardo
really is.
Pace, then later have Rubens Barrichello, which was a very talented guy.
Yeah.
Didn't win a championship, but very close to it.
Yeah.
He was Schumacher's partner when Schumacher was dominating.
Yeah.
Then have Massa, which I'm not the biggest fan, but he kept representing.
Yeah.
And the problem is that everybody that came after Senna, they think they're the new Senna, and then the Brazilian mass just don't. Like Rubens suffered a lot of bullying.
Yeah.
A lot of bullying. Still suffers, right?
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, we also had Raul Boesel, who ran IndyCar, I think, didn't he?
Raul Boesel, Raul Boesel. He was not some sort of an icon, but he was important in IndyCar. Beautiful car, the Duracell car. Beautiful,
yeah.
No, Mauricio Gugelmin.
Yes.
The Formula E guy was
Tony Can-Am.
Yes.
But Lucas Di Grassi. Lucas Di
He's
Grassi.
big.
He was supposed to be a Formula 1 driver, but he entered at Virgin. And Virgin was that mess. Remember when Virgin came along?
Yep.
He wanted to do everything computerized. Wind tunnel. Just came with a lot of new concepts and didn't work.
Yeah.
We have like Ricardo da Mata, which was strong, especially in Indy. And IndyCar, we have so many. We have André Ribeiro, Tony, Helio, you go, Gil de Ferran, who just passed away.
Yes.
Gil de Ferran was also very close to come here.
Mm-hmm.
He was still an active slot car racer.
Right. Okay.
Hard scratch built slot car. He built his own chassis.
Yeah.
So he was was getting him via Bobby Rahal, who also has a track, his Slot Mods track.
Yes, I've seen Bobby Rahal's setup. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. I invited Bobby to come here for the Nationals, but that was the time that we have the race at the same weekend of the Carmel race car week, and he sent me back a handwritten letter saying, "Oh, I'm sorry I can come. I wish I can come." I sent him back.
Yeah.
Cool guys, especially the ones that are investing on slot car racing.
And
don't even not mention Chip Ganassi, Zach Brown. Those guys are. Zach Brown also has slot mods race. Chip Ganassi, if you see the interview, he tells that his team started on his slot car track.
Yeah.
Like he got a track, the local track was closing. His father got the track, and he started his involvement with motorsport on that track.
Yeah.
So everything is related, and that's why we bring those guys here, because we try to cross this references.
Yeah.
Like this is model car racing, but we're racing scale of whatever we want.
They're good to watch. They really are. They're great to watch. And it's good to have people from outside slot car racing.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good to have that. Yeah.
Ian, thank you very much, not only for coming here for the second year in a row, to enjoying this environment that we created here, and to support the race, and for this interview.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a great environment you've created. It really is. And
besides Carlos, everything's amazing.
And if anyone's watching, consider coming to Electric Dreams. Just have a look, see for yourself what it's all about, because it's worth it. It really is. What you've got here is great. Yeah. And the same for the guys in Sydney. If you're a slot car racer, you want to be slot car racer in Sydney, come along to Slot Shop, because it's
get in touch. Get in touch. Slot Shop has a great newsletter. He puts a lot of time on that newsletter.
Really
Oh, there's a young lad who does their newsletter, and he doesn't do anything else. He just does the newsletter.
Okay. There's a newsletter guy then.
Yeah,
that's why it's so complete.
He does a good job, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's literally a newsletter. You just go for it.
Yeah.
Ian, again, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.